Hey guys, welcome. It's me, Adina, and you guys are beyond the veil. All right. So I want to do a reading really quick before I get started on doing some work for my friend. I'm gonna do a reading on Wendy Williams. I want to light some incense for her. And I will, but I'm afraid to get up because the phone is propped up. I don't want to move it to get the incense. So I won't. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this reading on Wendy Williams. All right, I'm going to start with pulling an oracle card and getting a message for Wendy from Wendy before I do a full spread on her, considering what the media is saying about her and her health conditions and things of that nature. So with that being said, Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams wants me to hit my weed for her because she is not in the condition to do anything extracurricular. And Wendy, now that I will do. That is an incense that I can burn because it's right here. And if Auntie Wendy says, baby, and I don't know if she's on her deathbed, but because the media is making it seem that way, if that's true, and she said, baby, all I want is to hit that weed one more time, just one more time before I really can't hit it no more. Would you let me hit your weed, baby? You know what I'm going to say? Yes, ma'am. In honor of 500 Fridays, y'all catch a contact if you don't smoke. Although I know one of my subscribers who does. All right, Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams. Why do I hear Vegas? I don't know if she is a fan of the Super Bowl, if she wanted to go, if she did go. Wendy Williams. Don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. One more card for Wendy Williams. Nothing will come of this situation. Wendy Williams. meditate and contemplate. That's a drug card. All right. Based on those cards alone, I would like to say that Wendy's past lifestyle has caught up with her. Now, I don't know if that's necessarily all her past lifestyle with drugs and alcohol, or if that's just one of the contributing factors. I see that it's her lifestyle as a whole that has come back to haunt her, and that has her in this lose-lose situation that she is in, which is why nothing will come of this situation. Nothing good is going to come out of the situation that Wendy Williams is, because none of the possible outcomes are in her highest good or for her favor. I'll say that. I'll say Wendy's lifestyle as Wendy Williams has come back to haunt her. The fact that she's isolated, it seems like, from healthy relationships is indicative of her lifestyle as Wendy Williams. The fact that her health is compromised due to various reasons, one of them being possible and alleged drug and alcohol use or abuse in her past, is a contributing factor to the current situation that she's in. And while the world seems to be reacting in a collective sympathy for Wendy Williams, based on the oracle cards that I pull, my opinion is that cause and effect, reap and sow, karma, give, receive, that is a universal law no matter what language you speak it in. And this looks to be an effect of the universal law of cause and effect. Reaping and sowing. Karma, whatever. All right, Wendy Williams, talk to me about what is currently going on with you. Talk to me about your health. Talk to me about this Lifetime show, documentary that you have coming out or recently out. I haven't seen it. Talk to me about whether you're in full agreement with that. Talk to me about what's really going on with your health and your life, personally, professionally. Talk to me about what's around you, who's around you, and what's going to become of you, Wendy Williams, in the future, near or far. Wendy, I don't know why I want to call her Whitney. Her and Whitney did have a moment. Wendy says, I was a vulture, so I am surrounded by vultures. Even, what is this that I left out? 8 of Pentacles. Her job became her life. Her job took over her life. Her job as being Wendy Williams. The Wendy Williams brand took over all aspects of her life, and it became her life. It was a virus that started in one space, which was just her job and her career, and slowly crept its way into every vein of her being, every area of her life, and turned it sour. Every relationship turned sour because of Wendy Williams. Her health turned sour because of Wendy Williams. Her downfall within herself, with don't let your pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo, full moon and Leo, that's superstar status. This is her lifestyle as Wendy Williams, and her pride. even when it came to betraying her own self. All right, Wendy Williams, let's talk about what you got going on. Where do you want to begin? Where do you want to begin? Before I do. All right, Wendy Williams, where do you want to begin? Telling me what's going on with you, health-wise, what's going on with this documentary. Are you in agreement? Are you able to be in agreement? What's going on in your future? What would you like? What are your hopes or fears? What advice are you willing to accept from Spirit? Let's see. Now, interesting, in the present position, Wendy Williams, she's known for saying things recklessly, being very reckless with her speech and her approach to interviewing and to commentating on people. The Knight of Swords is at all costs, no matter who it offends. And even if I get hurt in the process, I'm doing it, I'm saying it. That's the Wendy Williams brand. And that came out in her present position, which lets me know, again, her current situation, her present situation is due to the Wendy Williams brand. And we know what Wendy Williams brand is. Very brash, very abrasive, very aggressive. Willing to say things in order for shock value, in order to land, the big T moment, no matter who it hurts, even if it hurts her. That came out in the present position. Challenging her is this King of Wands in reverse. This would be her husband, Kevin. Her husband, Kevin. He's in reverse, so that's bad enough. But he's in her challenging position, which is even worse. I get that because we all know the position that Kevin had in Wendy Williams' brand and in her life, we know the power and control he wielded over her. That seems to also have landed her in her current position. You ever heard the term, don't let this person be the downfall of you? That's what that is. Now, the recent past was the approach for Wendy Williams to do the documentary. I wonder if Kevin had something to do with either it happening or trying to prevent it from happening. I'm not sure. Did they even approach him about doing it and he agreed to it? And maybe Wendy Williams is not fully in agreement with it? I have to clarify these. Near future, this isn't going to be good for Wendy at all. Her health is not good, and if it is, it doesn't look good in the near future. This is also going to cause more disruption in her personal life. This documentary coming out, this isn't good for Wendy. I don't know if she agreed to it. I don't know if she was in a good place to be making agreements if she did. I don't know if they approached Kevin because they knew that approaching Wendy or somebody else closer to her would have gotten them turned down. And he maybe have agreed to this on her behalf, if he can still do so. And I'm only saying that because from where this spread is looking, the Knight of Cups is approaching the King of Wands in reverse. That's challenging Wendy Williams. It's going smack dab towards the King and going smack dab towards this Knight of Swords who's running in the opposite direction of the Knight of Cups, approaching it in the past. So I don't know if Wendy Williams didn't necessarily want to do it, but found herself contractually obligated somehow, some way. However, this isn't going to be good for her physical, mental, emotional health, because it's going to cause a ripple effect in the situations with the people around her. I know her family is currently suing something or somebody or something like that. Near future doesn't look good for Wendy. Again, crowning her is, now Wendy is thinking about her quick and sudden fall from fame and from health. I wouldn't be surprised if I got any indication of juju in this card, even if it's something that crossed Wendy's mind, with this being in her crowning position, because she's thinking about, she's physically conscious of her rapid decline in her career and in her physical personal life, health-wise too. It's like she's perplexed at how fast and quickly everything just turned upside down. I think that Wendy thinks it also had a lot to do with her trying to get away from Kevin. Trying to at least get away from his control and start making her own decisions and do her own thing. Because once that happened, once the news of separation and divorce,
you realize what?
Start being thrown around, everything was a downward turn for Wendy. If we noticed that or not, it all started with her wanting to leave Kevin. And then everything just, again, Wendy herself feels like her demise was her trying to get away from Kevin. And then family stepped in. It's like once she was taken down, the vultures that she spoke of crept in. People that Wendy never would have gave access to her personal life or her personal dealings, but because now they can use their I'm Wendy's family card, they weren't able to use that when she was in her right mind, because she was like, no, we might be blood, but we're not family. But now that she's not in the right place, she was brought down. Now those people who can use that card to their benefit came in and start wielding the family card. I'm family, her family. It's time for her family to step in. But I don't get a lot of these people that are in her family, or even for Wendy's highest good. I don't get that a lot of people around her right now is for her highest good. External energy, everybody has their hands on her coin. And it's no longer what it used to be, because I would have liked to see Wendy as the Empress, because she did have an empire. Even seeing her as the Empress in reverse would have been better than seeing her as only the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Because now she's no longer the Queen of Swords. She no longer has a voice. She's no longer the Queen of Cups. She's emotionally unstable. She's no longer the Queen of Wands. Her business and her capacity to run business is gone. The only thing that's left is her health and her money that she already acquired. And now even that is being siphoned as we speak. Hopes and fears for Wendy is that she can get away from the vultures because they're close to her. And I also see a fear of something or someone being wedged in between her and her son, because I feel like in her soul, she feels like that is the only person that she trusts or that she has left in this world is her son. But she fears that the attempts to come in between them will be successful. Final outcome. This is sad. This is sad. I see Wendy's family seeing an opportunity to get back into her financial fold. Somebody, I don't know if this is Kevin, but somebody agreed on her behalf to do this documentary. Let me look into this Knight of Swords in reverse. However, the oracle cards let me know that Wendy has lived a lifestyle that has cultivated a lot of vultures and enemies and greedy people and people who wouldn't care about her in this kind of time. Nobody should be treated this way. However, the bigger picture is that of cause and effect. So that's the life lesson in this. No matter how young you are, be careful of the lifestyle that you live, because the seeds that you sow always reap something, whether it's a weed or whether it's a rose. Something comes up. Knight of Swords in reverse. I see the opportunity was presented to Kevender. I feel like Wendy didn't really have a choice but to do this documentary. I do not believe that she was brought into negotiations because they didn't feel like she had the mental capacity to make healthy business decisions. So it was made without her. I also think that they knew that they had to approach Kevin because he would be the most agreeable to it out of everyone in her circle. Someone else would have probably been more concerned about Wendy's opinion and her health. This is why they approached Kevin. The Emperor. Now, he came up as Emperor. Mind you, I said I expected her to come up as the Empress, but she came up as this because everything she has is being siphoned. The counterpart of the Empress is the Emperor. He came up as the Emperor, the one who they approached to do the deal with, because they know that he's greedy enough to do it, selfish enough to take the deal on Wendy's behalf. They approached him for a reason. They never even mentioned it to Wendy or the people closest to her at this moment, like her son. King of Wands in reverse, because that's Kevender as well. For some reason, he is still in control. I don't know if it's just of the business or of everything. He's still the one. He's the one who is leaking information about her health. I see my Juju card that I was expecting to see, but this is also him revealing information. So that's where they're getting this information from about Wendy, and any personal information that we get. It's so that we can be prepared for an impending death card, allegedly. Which makes me think that this outcome is being pursued. And we are being given hints to prepare because this outcome is being pursued. So someone who's pursuing it, because there are interested parties. Kevin was already the one doing the deals and doing the business and the heavy lifting, while Wendy was just the talent. So those same connections, Kevin still reaches out to them. They still reach out to him. They know that Wendy is done. Her money, though, her empire, what's going to happen with that? Her brand, what's going to happen with that? That's why they go behind Wendy's back and her close team's back and go directly to Kevin, because he still has some kind of say-so, allegedly, in the Wendy Williams brand. So now there are parties interested in pursuing the potential and alleged finality of Wendy Williams. If it's not meant to happen organically, it's being induced. It's being induced. What are they giving her? What medications are they giving her? What are they giving her to drink in a cup that she actually doesn't want to take, but they tell her she needs to take it for her health? But she doesn't like it because she doesn't like the way it makes her feel loopy. Remind you guys, I'm telling you, something's being induced here. Wendy doesn't like taking something that they give her because she feels like it makes her sick. And it does. They are just giving this to her, allegedly, and waiting. Because it happens over time. And whatever breakdowns in her bodily functions that are happening, it's because it's being induced by whatever is being handed to her in this cup that she really doesn't want to take. She doesn't like it. She actually refuses, allegedly, behind the scenes, allegedly. I get that it's almost like she's being forced by her close ones around her that are also invested in her demise. A doctor allegedly is prescribing something that does this. I've done a reading on that doctor, that Hollywood doctor that did all the autopsies, and how they can prescribe medicines that induce natural cause death. Allegedly, allegedly, allegedly. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Look, behind the high priestess, when I said that they are leaking things so that they can prepare us for her impending death, behind the high priestess, they're leaking it because they know her health is decaying, because they're helping it. This is the card. Them giving her something that she doesn't want to take because it induces death. And there's money and greed here involved. I see an estate. Someone is afraid that they will lose out on something if Wendy regains her health, obviously. So they would be keeping her induced. But I think the husband, the ex-husband, is concerned mostly about Wendy's health improving. I see disagreements here because Wendy doesn't like taking medications. I see somebody's trying to be vocal on. She does have an advocate somewhere, but for some reason she's still being given this medication. Whoever has the power of attorney over making her medical decisions, I'm perplexed. What just fell out? Well, they're in on it, because this just fell out as I'm shuffling here. Let me look into this Knight of Cups in the recent past. So I don't know if they did approach the sun. and he agreed, but or if this is just the opportunity to do the show. I think that they approached the husband because they knew that if they approached the son, he would turn it down. He wouldn't agree to it. I think that the son is her only advocate right now and her only real ally. If they can wedge some kind of wedge between him so that he has no say-so whatsoever in her affairs, they can accomplish their goals. So they had to, and I say Lifetime, maybe not Lifetime, but whoever is approaching her, that is approaching her for something that isn't for her highest good. This is the show. I think that they didn't approach the son because they knew that he turned it down. They approached Kevin Durr. I think that maybe they tried to before, or maybe this has been in talks before, but it was turned down by the people who would have her best interests at heart. But for some reason, Kevin still has say-so in her business affairs. And so approaching him got her legally involved. Near future. Something's going to be revealed. It's like it has no choice but to come out. Somebody didn't want something to come out, but because somebody said something. You know, this makes me feel like Black China. I don't know what her sign is, but the fact that she did that show, it makes me feel like she doesn't like what she sees going on behind the scenes. I don't know if when this comes out, it's going to stir up some conversations. Let me see what's behind this moon reverse. I think that somebody's going to say that the son wasn't even involved in the decision for Wendy Williams to do the show or to go to rehab or whatever is revealed in that documentary. It may be revealed that her son wasn't involved in any decision-making process, because if he had known, he wouldn't have agreed. He may say that he was never approached. He was never a part of something. It may come out that somebody is preying on Wendy Williams. We're going to see conversations around predatory behaviors concerning her, people taking advantage of her in her state, and some drama and some tea will come of this situation. I think this Queen of Wands in reverse, I don't know why I think that's Black China. I don't know why I think that's Black China, but I think that's Black China going off or standing up for Wendy Williams behind and in front of the scenes. As a result of this show and as a result of what she witnessed while being around Wendy. Most recently, Four of Wands in reverse. Wendy, somebody in your family is trying to take you down for your coin. Four of Wands in reverse. Somebody who could be suing currently, that's a part of your family suing somebody. I see somebody from your family who might not have been around you had it not been for your weakened state, is in it to win it at all costs, and you are the cost. Be very careful with these family members who you never saw until recently. until the decline of your empire and until you started needing a little extra help. People that you never saw before start coming from out of town. You know them cousins, the ones that you cut off. Be very careful, Wendy. Somebody in your family circle is in it to win it, and it ain't your son. Queen of Pentacles in reverse, external energy. That's y'all. That's those vultures just sucking her dry. I'm supposed to be doing juju right now. Does Wendy know? I don't know if I get after this show with the drama that unfolds with the parties involved with Wendy Williams, that something's going to be revealed about interest in Wendy's money and her empire. Something will be revealed to Wendy that she didn't even know, that she doesn't know currently. Hopes and fears with this Two of Cups in reverse. I think that's her relationship with her son that she fears is going to be tampered with. In the attempt to isolate Wendy from everyone who cares for her and keep her from being in the position to make any cognitive decisions for herself, with her son being the only one that she has left, I think Wendy fears interference if she loses that closeness with her son, since this is what I think that she knows that they want. She knows that they want her death and her money, allegedly. Wendy seems to be very aware, which is why this is on her mind. Very aware that once she starts trying to get away from Kevin Durr, her rapid decline in fame and health is crowning her. It's at the top of her mind. And she knows that this is what put it at the top of her mind. And she knows that the ultimate result is her money, her not being able to have access to her money, her son not being able to have access to her and her estate, her decline in health, and her pending demise, allegedly. That's behind her hopes and fears. So her son is all she has right now. And slowly, they're going to start chipping away at whatever rights and authority he has in her life. Because I don't think he was, I don't know if he was fully aware of this lifetime situation or if he was in agreement with it when he had an opportunity to be so. Final outcome, this Ten of Cups, sad, sad card. That's all I gotta say. Sad, 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 sad outcome. Somebody's waiting for Wendy's family and all of her fans to lose someone, allegedly. All the hard work has been done. It's like a waiting game because her health has already been compromised intentionally, so much to the point where it's like they're waiting, because I think they expect that a recovery at this point isn't possible. And when that happens, somebody will have access. Whoever has access to her estate is the one who wanted to have access to her estate. And let me look and see how Wendy feels about this, because it's crowning her. It's right next to the outcome. So she knows what's happening to her. She knows that this looks like it was induced. Her fame, behind the decline of her health and her fame, the sun, is the other card of fame and celebrity, the Star. She's constantly thinking with regret and loss and grief. Regret, loss, and grief is in this card because of who she was and how fast it all came tumbling down. Permanently. She turned down some advice from a psychic who she watched, who warned her. She didn't listen. You know who that makes me think of? Tracy Brown. Because Tracy Brown used to stay on Wendy Williams' neck. I used to watch her a lot back then because I liked her more back then. Oh, that's no shade. I'm sorry. I still like Tracy. I just liked her even more back then. I stand myself now. That's the only difference. But she did a reading one time and she mentioned someone giving Wendy something to make her sick. And she mentioned Wendy not taking whatever or not drinking whatever was in her teacup on that show. She hypothetically mentioned that teacup, and she mentioned the parties would do something like that. They fix her tea. She don't know what they bringing her in that cup, but she's drinking, you know, something like that. But she mentioned it first. So I'm not going to take full credit here because even though I didn't say that because of her, what this looks like is exactly what I remember her saying. And I see here on the bottom, I think, look, Wendy Williams turned down spiritual tea given by a psychic, the high priestess, that she used to watch. This is her watching this tarot reader who warned her, and she didn't listen. I remember the warning that Tracy Brown gave Wendy Williams. It stuck out to me. Ironically, because here we are. I actually knew when she gave that reading, I knew it was going to come to pass. When she said it, my mind saw it. My spirit felt it too. And this is what we have. And Wendy Williams thinks it too. So Tracy Brown, if you ever just so happen to come across my channel, even if it's a year from now, if you see this reading, just know that I'm telling you from another reader's perspective that Wendy Williams saw your warning. She saw you warn her. She watched your video. And you probably know this because I know that you have celebrity clients. I know some of them have blocked you. And I think Wendy Williams may have been one of the ones who blocked you. So you probably know that she doesn't like what you had to say. She didn't like what you had to say. She didn't listen. She didn't heed the warning, but she saw it. I'm telling you, she didn't take heed to your advice. She didn't listen because she didn't believe it. She didn't believe it. At the time, things were going good. And I see that Wendy, at crowning her, is where she was and how quickly everything came crashing down. And I'm going to end this reading with the so below position because I believe that that is her feeling like this all happened because I wanted to get away. Don't let pride get in your way. Tracy Brown, and Tracy is a Leo. So again, I think that she regrets not listening to Tracy Brown. I've never said this before, something so specific about another YouTube reader, but because I saw that reading when she warned Wendy about people giving her things to drink that she should refuse because it was going to make her sick and that they were doing it on purpose. But she let pride get in her way and didn't listen to that Leo. And I believe that she saw your video, Tracy, because you have the platform for celebrities to see your reading, see your videos, and she didn't listen. How you doing? You know, she continued to sip the tea, and next thing you know, she fumbling and tumbling in a Statue of Liberty costume on national TV. And that's no shade. It's sad. All right, the Hermit reverse, because that's in her so below position. She was high on the hog for a while, and so were the parties involved. But I think, I think that she watched Tracy. I think that she used to watch Tracy often. Because this is letting your pride get in your way. The Six of Wands in reverse is the card of ego. This is how success and victory can sometimes lead to your own downfall. And since don't let pride get in your way, all of these cards, even this is a Leo card crowning her, the sun. I'm going to say that Wendy Williams, because Tracy Brown used to do a lot. She used to read Wendy down. And I remember her saying, I know Wendy sees my readings. She used to confidently say, Wendy, I know you see me. She did, Tracy Brown. She did see your readings. She did not listen. She's fully aware right now. I wouldn't be surprised if Tracy is reading Wendy Williams as a client now. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if she circled the block. Because once she tried to leave, the Hermit in reverse, this is her actually realizing that once I tried to leave, everything changed for me. And again, once she tried to get away from her husband and her team at the show, there was sabotage going on. I think Kevin got into everybody's ear as the one who ran the business behind the scenes, the bull behind the business. All I'm going to say is what's happening to Wendy Williams has a lot to do with something being given to her. That's why her health cannot improve. Cannot, will not. Physical health, mental health. Cannot because it cannot because it will not. This is very sad. Very, very sad reading. And even if the people who are doing this to her no longer have access to do it, the damage is done. The final outcome is the Ten of Cups in reverse. Very, very, very sad card. Matter of time. I think that the drama that comes out behind this documentary is going to make Wendy Williams give up. Because if they're able to do that without her full consent and her being fully lucid while it was being done, because she was probably doped up a lot of the time on something, probably prescribed, probably not still on alcohol. That's a lie. It's what they have her on that's making her like that. And this rehab facility is going to do her in. And they're going to say that the damage that she done because she was still drinking alcohol is what did it. Not true, guys. When this show comes out and she has her moment of lucidity, and they say that she's in rehab now, and they have the power to do so, she realizes now that they have all the power and control. They have what they want. She's going to give up. They have all the power and control. They're doping her up, keeping her not sane, not lucid, forcing her into institutions that she doesn't want to be in, separating her from her son. Five of Cups, Five of Wands in reverse. Wendy herself is going to, at some point, feel like I've already lost. I have no fight left in me. We should all send our healing energy towards Wendy Williams because she needs all the light, love, healing, and protection possible. Ironically, I'm getting ready to do some protection work for my friend on her farm. So I'll be sending some energy out to Wendy Williams Love you guys. Bye.